Hey everybody, it's Sugar Bar Philosopher. Welcome back out to the channel. Today we got an exciting episode. We're going to be taking a look yet again at the 380 ACP out of the Bodyguard 2.0. This time we're taking a look at the Speer Gold Dot Law Enforcement version. Should be a good time. Let's get to shooting it. Okay, I can't remember how many videos we're into in this series, but we're into quite a lot. I have tested Speer Gold Dot in the past, but I haven't retested it when I started up with my new testing system that I've been doing here. So we're gonna take a look at that. Also, everybody keeps telling me there's a special Speer Gold Dot law enforcement version for the 380 ACP that a lot of police officers like to use for their backup gun or as a off-duty gun to have around in their pocket. So we're going to be testing that out today. I was able to get my hands on some law enforcement version. Looks very similar to the regular Gold Dot. Come on, get into focus. You can see the hollow point, very traditional Gold Dotty. This is a 90 grain projectile, and we're going to be taking a look at it out of the Bodyguard 2.0. Now, why the Bodyguard? I think it's a compelling either backup gun or just pocket gun. So, you know, you just want to go out, get the mail, you want to go do whatever. This is a great gun to have in your pocket. It comes with 10 rounds and 12 round magazines. It has a really ergodynamic feel to it. You can get very high up on the grip. I, with large size hands, can get all 3 fingers on this due to the undercut and the high grip tang at the back here. So all of that combines, this is a fantastic gun for the ultimate concealed carry gun. So we've been going around testing out different jacketed hollow points and different self-defense ammunition rounds. Now, I know some of you are going to put in the comments, there is no good self-defense round for 380 ACP. Well, I beg to differ. I do have I'll not try to put a link to it in this video, but I do have a test where I test flat nose, round nose, hard cast flat nose projectiles against jacketed hollow points. To me, the jacketed hollow points still won, both in terms of acceptable performance depth, 12 to 16 to 18 inches of penetration in ballistic gelatin, going through t-shirts, denim, and even medium density fiberboard. All of those things put together, I think there are some pretty good self-defense rounds. People often ask me, what do I think the best are? And my all-time favorite right now is the Underwood XTP. The hottest rounds that we've shot out of this, that's just the standard pressure. You can also get the quote-unquote plus P version. I know there's no 380 plus P by the SAMI spec. I get that. Everyone's gonna lecture me. So, but we're gonna keep testing. And a lot of law enforcement guys like this Speer Gold Dot. They use it in their backup gun. So we're gonna put that to the test today. We have our contraption up. We're going to be testing with clear ballistic gelatin. We're going to do 2 inches of clear ballistic gelatin, then some medium density fiberboard, which acts like a rib simulation. Gun Sam was the first one that I saw that introduced that. Dan the Wolfman suggested, hey, you could do a little bit of a variation on that. Gun Sam often uses 4 inches of ballistic gel, then medium density fiberboard. I use 2. So different variations in the test setup, different guns in the testing, sometimes different ammo, gives us more videos for people to look. Others are going to say, hey, look, I need to have like 20 shots into this gel to see if this is going to work. Great, there's about 20 YouTubers out there. Or contribute to the channel and you can help buy more ballistic gel blocks for me so that I can do a really high volume set of tests on this. Now, with that said, let's go down, take a look at what the test setup is, and let's get to shooting and testing. Now, as I said before, this is the test setup. We have 2 layers of denim, 2 layers of t-shirt, 2 inches of clear ballistic gel, 1/4 inch of medium density fiberboard, very similar hardness, very similar water density as bone, but I still wouldn't call it a bone simulation. What it actually does is make our clear ballistic gel a much better comparison to organic gelatin, which is what the FBI uses and recommends. So after we get through that setup piece, then we have more layers or more additional clear ballistic gel in order to catch it, see if we get expansion, so on and so forth. I'm going to make a slight change today. I'm going to set it up with the t-shirt, the gel, the medium density fiberboard for my first shot. After that, I'm going to take that stuff out and do 1 shot into the clear ballistics. This allows, for those of you who really want to see how it performs, an unadulterated ballistic block before there's any other shots in it. You can see how it does with the medium density fiberboard and the clothing on it, because that's where it gets really interesting. I do like to do it without the gel too, because I think there's two important tests to be done here. First off, when you have clothing, it sometimes, and the medium density fiberboard, it sometimes clogs the hollow point so that you won't get expansion. Now in 380, that's going to be okay because you're not going to get over penetration. In other rounds, you might get over penetration. That would be a bad thing. 380, that's not a problem. Actually, I think what the problem is sometimes you get a round that it expands too much and doesn't get enough penetration. And so I like to test with this setup and without it and just clear ballistics, but we're going to switch the order of it and see how folks like that. Let me know in the comments below as we have a train going by. All right, well, that's good. Let's get to shooting. All right, well, we have the 90 grain Speer Gold Dot Law Enforcement version. We're going to put it into the gel with the 2 layers t-shirt, 2 layers denim, 2 inches of clear ballistic gel, 1/4 inch of medium density fiberboard, and then more clear ballistic gel. I do have a regular chronograph downrange. Let's hope I don't shoot it, and let's hope that we can get this bullet where we need to. Velocity was 923. Let's go down and see what we got. So we started off going through the denim, the t-shirt, then we went through this block of 2 inches of clear ballistic gelatin. Let me try and pull that out so you can get a better see. The contraption kind of blocks some of this. You can see here, just entered there and got through that. Didn't really start to expand very much in that part. Shedded some of the blue jean and other material. Hit our medium density fiberboard, went in here, and then came out this other side, blew out, really not getting much expansion. And then we did typical jacketed hollow point type stuff, wound channel. It's a little bit more colored because it's got lots of stuff going with it from the medium density fiberboard. And it goes all the way down and gets out to about 14 and a half inches, and then bounces back just a little bit. We'll pull out that projectile here in a second. That's okay. Again, I do like the Underwood XTP. It tends to get about to 16 inches and does a pretty good job of expanding. Let's take a look at this bullet right now. And we see that we got very inconsistent expansion, where some of the projectile expanded and some of the projectile did not expand. Again, that's what happens when you have that t-shirt and medium density fiberboard going on in there. So, you know, I think that's just on the verge. If this was in organic gelatin instead of this clear ballistic gelatin, it's quite possible that this might have expanded a little bit better. I'm suspect of that because I think that there was some catching up of this hollow point. Now, maybe this works a lot better in a 380 that has a little bit longer barrel, but the short Bodyguard has a pretty short barrel. Now, it did get out to 0.48, which is pretty typical of what we see with many jacketed hollow points. So not bad, even though it does suboptimal expansion, this is still doing more damage in there than your flat nose or your hard cast, and getting out to 14 and a half inches with that stuff in there, I think that's still fine. I think that this is still a fine expanding bullet. Okay, well, we've reset up our block. We now have another one of these 90 grain Speer Gold Dot projectiles in here. Turn on the slow motion camera, fire another one in. We've got the chronograph. Again, this is just into the clear ballistic gel. Okay, we got 931, so pretty consistent out of that. Let's go down, see what it did. All right, let's take a look at this shot into the clear gel. Came in here, went all the way out to 11 inches. No bounce back. Looks like it did the very good jacketed hollow point type thing. We got some spiraling three-dimensional wound tracks as it cuts through and expands into this gelatin. Let's dig this out and see what we got. And yes, this got the very good Speer Gold Dot type expansion. All the petals were peeling back very nicely, as you would expect. And in the end, it got 0.48, which is what it got on the other one, but it was only on one of the sides, right? So 0.4845, 0.8885, somewhere around there. So very good expansion. Okay, well, I've got 5 rounds loaded. I have my Garmin 0C1 here. There it is. And we are going to shoot these rounds and get some velocity readings for you. I'm going to speed it up while I'm shooting, and then we're going to read up the session summary so that you get a bigger baseline for what these things are doing. We got around 920 when we were shooting it into the gel. Let's see how consistent that is with these loadings. All right, let's take a look at the session summary. We got a min of 925, an average of 935, a max of 953, extreme spread of 28, standard deviation of 10.1, and an average kinetic energy of 174.9. Not bad, but I'd like to see it closer to 200 foot-pounds coming out of your Bodyguard for your self-defense pistol. All right, let's move forward, test what I like to call practical accuracy. Okay, well, here we are at 5 yards. This is where I like to test it for the Bodyguard 2.0 because this is an up close and personal gun. Really not a gun that I really want to be in a gunfight with because ballistics of 380, so on and so forth. This is best for up close and personal. So that's the kind of place we're going to be looking at it. What I look in my practical accuracy isn't as much as how tight the group is, but are there weird flyers going off with it? Are there bullets going sideways? There's a lot you can tell from just shooting bullets into paper. So that's what we're going to do with this. And it's less about how tight my group is and more about, is there something anomalous that we're going to discover as we do this part of the test. All right, let's go down, see how we did. Okay, for practical accuracy, that's pretty good. None of these bullets are going sideways. It's pretty centered. I may have been just off a little bit today. I'm not so sure, but one of the interesting things in the 30-ish videos I've done and following this sort of test regimen is you'll see ammo going up here, you'll see ammo going up here. I don't think that's me. That's how the ammo interacts with the barrel of this gun. And so it's good to know where your self-defense ammo hits. And so if you practice with one ammo that's hitting over here and you get all your sights lined up and you push them and you figure something out, but then your self-defense ammo hits in a different spot, you could be messed up. So it's important to know where your self-defense ammo hits, especially when you have something like an iron-sighted gun. All right, well, let's wrap things up. Today we had a great test today. We take a look at the Speer Gold Dot law enforcement version. It's a 90 grain projectile with their Speer Gold Dot bullet loaded up in it. It's not as good as I had hoped. It really needs to be probably getting about 1,000 feet per second. It's more getting around that 930 feet per second, which is just not probably good enough to get reliable expansion when you're going through various barriers. Now, when we shot it just into the clear ballistics gel, it expanded. Keep in mind, when it goes into organic gelatin, it's probably going to expand just a little bit more. So that's good. But when we put on layers of t-shirt, medium density fiberboard, it didn't get quite the expansion. Now it got sufficient penetration, but well, ish, about to the 14.5 inch mark, but didn't really get expansion all the way around. Now I would hope that it would in my testing. Now this is just one round each. There's probably other people that have tested this before. This is my test. Collect all that data that you have, make the decision if this is the right ammunition for you or whether you want to go with something different. Now, I hope that has been useful for everyone today. Hope everyone has a great week, and let's get to shooting.
Out here in the US of A, where our spirits run free.
All right, well, let's...
Trigger by philosopher, it's you and
okay, well,
me.
let's wrap things up. Not yet.
From pistols to rifles, we'll take on the best. Review and each weapon, put them to the test. With revolvers and shotguns, we'll break it all down. The Second Amendment protects from the crown. Living for freedom.